Long Island may be best known for its bagels, the Hamptons, and the traffic.
But we think it has a pretty good radio station, too. We hope we have your vote for Best Radio Station in the Beth Page Best of Long Island Awards.
Click on over and vote at bestoflongisland.com.
The voice of Nassau Community College.
This is the award-winning 90.3 WHPC HD Garden City.
Listen on your smart speaker.
Play WHPC.
And available on Odyssey and iHeartRadio.
Ba 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 ba.
Get a shiver in the dark, it's raining in the park, but meantime
90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. Welcome to another edition of From the Press Box here every Monday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. This show becomes a podcast later on all podcast places. There's like 15 of them now. So that we're all over the place, which is a good thing.
Podcast places.
And, we look forward to that.
Podcast places.
Yeah, we love it. And, of course, I am Rob Leonard, and he is Tim Leonard, award-winning sports writer, and, yes, my brother. Hello, brother. How you doing?
I'm all right, brother.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Now you got to turn up my earphones a little bit.
A little bit?
They're a little low. I got to be honest, brother, because I know you love me to critique the music.
Yes.
A little disappointed you didn't pick, what is it, Home Sweet Home? What is that, Ozzy? I don't even know who does that.
Motley Crue.
All right, Motley Crue. Why not? What was it? Come on. Islanders, Home Sweet Home.
I would play, actually know what you play. You don't play Motley. You play, what song would you play?
Home Sweet Home.
Dreamer. You played Dreamer. That was the song for them for a while.
No. You're playing the song that has no reference to the new UBS Arena.
Yeah, I know.
So that's my point, is that there's a new home.
But this is Motley Crue, Tim. This isn't Ozzy.
But, you're totally missing my point.
I am.
Completely. It's soaring over your head.
Yes, of course, brother, of course. You're Mr. Music Expert, of course.
And twice in the 24 hours since the building opened. First of all, Jiggs McDonald, I love Jiggs.
Love Jiggs.
He's the ultimate professional, one of the voices of my youth. Called it USB Arena before he fixed it himself. And then Anthony Johnson on Eyewitness News last night also called it USB Arena.
Well,
come on, let's go, people.
I think they're going to, all arenas get nicknames now because the media doesn't want to give free advertising. So
we never did. So That's why the media always hated these naming rights and whatnot.
Right, but I think they're going to start calling it the U, or the UBSA or something, or U. I think the
something.
U.
I don't know.
We're going to the U tonight. Yeah, okay.
Well, you heard about Staples Center, right?
Yeah, they're changing it to the Bitcoin.
Like Crypto.com or something like that.
The funny thing about it is I was wondering if the people who own the Staples Center are going to take Bitcoin or whatever crypto as payment instead of real money.
They probably will.
Because, it's one of the things about this crypto crap is that, it's not real. It's like someone saying it's real. It's like saying, well, I just drew this picture and it has a picture of Tim Leonard on it.
No, that's an EFT, brother.
And look, I'm going to say it's worth 20 things. And if you have 20 things, and here you get paid.
Well, that's basically as long as you got enough people to believe it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Then it's worth it.
Then all of a sudden say, well, I can't get money for this. What am I going to do?
Well, there you go.
I'm gonna wallpaper my bathroom with it.
You have this stuff. Some people believe it's worth money, but can you go get a burrito in 7-Eleven with it? That's really the ultimate decider right there.
Anyway, let's start off with the Islanders. The UBS Arena opened up on Saturday. I was on the 421 train on the Babylon branch, filled with Islander fans.
Nice.
Everyone wearing their jerseys. That means they arrived. They had to go to Jamaica, then come back. So
the Elmont Station, the newly opened Elmont Station.
Yeah. So but it's not complete yet. There's something missing there.
Doesn't matter as long as the train stops and the doors open.
I think the deal is eventually you can take the train from Hicksville and then go there directly. You don't have to go to Jamaica and back. So that's
let's hope so.
That's the thing. So we'll see what happens with this. I've not heard any stories from any of my friends who went to the game about the parking situation, or Planfield Road and Floral Park being closed? Or that was my prediction. So
I did hear a complaint from my good pal Peter Simmons, fellow Alarm fan, by the way, who is also a season ticket holder. I believe, I want to say in section, it was 215, 312, something like that. And he said on Facebook that he was really hoping that at some point the Nassau County Police Department would actually think about directing traffic.
You're going to need that.
He didn't make a big deal out of it like my brother likes to so much.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, there seemingly were some shortcomings for the first
They
2
barely
nights.
got the arena open. I mean, they barely finished it. I mean, they had the ceremony on Friday or Thursday. They had Sparky the Dragon there.
Well, there was there's been some various things going on pretty much all week.
Right, but they had
the game was Saturday.
Right, but they had the ribbon cutting thing on Thursday or Friday.
Don't pay attention.
And Laura Curran was there. She's the outgoing county executive for Nassau County.
Yeah, that was
but guess who wasn't there, brother?
I don't know.
The guy who pushed it through, Andrew Cuomo.
Well, why would he be there? Let's face it, Cuomo being there would distract from it because everybody would want to talk about his quote unquote scandal, and that would detract from the importance of the day.
Right.
Cuomo showing up. Should he have been there? Yeah, he should have been.
Yeah,
because he's the guy that got the job done and got this arena done.
He did.
So congratulations to him. But we all know that there's a sizable faction out there that despises Cuomo.
Well, even if he wasn't in trouble, they would despise him.
Of course, he could be the greatest politician ever, but some people will despise him just because his last name is Cuomo,
right.
And he has the bracket.
He did do a lot of building. I give him credit for that. And he's the one who said, "Hey, you know what? We'll take our state land at Belmont Racetrack." And we're going to build an arena there, since the people in Nassau County and the town of Hempstead are saying, well, we don't know what to do. And the Islanders ever going to move? Not after they got sold to Ledecky, and who's the other guy? I don't remember his name.
We always forget his name. But
Ledecky shows up. He does all the
I want to give some credit while you Google who the Islanders owners are. Because there was a very nice ceremony before the game, and Charles Wong got some much-deserved credit for keeping the Islanders on Long Island.
He did. I agree.
Because if not for Charles Wong, the Islanders would probably be playing in Kansas City or someplace right now. Because they certainly wouldn't be on Long Island, and we wouldn't have the beautiful, phenomenal UBS Arena, which I haven't been inside yet. I'm certainly looking forward to going and seeing a game and hopefully seeing the press box.
Yep.
But for right now, this was something I heard, and I don't remember where I heard it. I wish I did, so I could give whoever it was credit. But the one of the best parts about this is we don't have to listen anymore to, well, the Islanders going to move, and what about attendance? And this team is here to stay.
But I've always said they weren't moving, and I'll tell you why.
But it was never for sure.
No, well, yes, it was, because they have still, I think, the best TV contract in the league with now MSG. It used to be Sports Channel. They signed a 35-year deal back in the late 80s, which would mean it's coming up to, be over soon. But they had the best contract. It's one of the reasons why Charles Dolan, before the Dolan family took over the Madison Square Garden, tried to buy the Islanders.
Of course they did.
It's because they wanted to take that money and then pay themselves, which is what you do. But then that's
what the Yankees have done for years.
They couldn't do it for whatever reason, and then they cut a deal with IT&T, and they ended up buying the Garden. Then ITT wanted to get out, and then that's how you get Jimmy Dolan running the Garden. So, everyone says, well, how did this happen? Well, they're a publicly held company, and they did.
How did it happen? How was it allowed to happen?
Well, you know what? The Knicks were playing good. Now they're not sort of playing good, but they were playing good. And the Rangers playing very good this year. You got to give credit.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Rangers they won last night. A goal with 0.4 of a second left in the game.
By the way, it's John Ledecky.
Yes.
And Scott Merkin.
Merkin, that's the guy.
Merkin, that's the guy you never see, but you see Ledecky everywhere.
He's the behind-the-scenes guy.
You see Ledecky on the train talking to the Islander fans while they're drinking, And of
Knocking
course,
them back.
I don't want to say.
Mr. Ledecky, here, have a bud.
I don't want to say that the Islander fans like their alcohol, but every
they
person
like their alcohol. You can say it.
Every person I saw on the train had either a 6-pack or a 12-pack with them. In those boxes,
and we're firing it down.
Firing it.
All right, we don't need the sound effects.
But that's part of what we do here. So anyway, so we'll see what happens with this. I mean, this, for those who haven't been there, it's literally right next to the Cross Island Parkway. And the Cross Island Parkway is the borderline between Nassau and Suffolk. So it is, 10 feet over. You go to the other side of the Cross Island, you're in Queens. So that's how close it is. So
Okay, but it's still on Long Island.
Technically, yes. Yeah.
Not technically, it is.
Well, yeah, but it's like that whole Queens, Brooklyn thing. We're not part of Long Island.
But that's what they want. They wanted an arena that was going to be accessible to a lot of different people. The Islanders don't. I mean, if the Islanders wanted to bunker in for Long Island, they would have put the arena in Suffolk County.
No.
I mean, that's my point. Is that you can't. You have to make it available to people.
I think
and I'm sorry to the people in Suffolk County, but yeah, you're going to have to travel. And you made that decision when you moved to Suffolk County in the first place.
Are you trying to say Suffolk County's not a place to live, Tim?
I'm saying it's out of the way. And I'm saying that if you choose to live in Suffolk County, then yes, you need to choose and you need to accept the fact that you're going to need to commute.
Okay.
And you're going to need to be on the road or on a train.
I think if the Islanders had their ultimate way, they would have been an arena right across the street, right from here, where Nassau Community College. The Coliseum is right across the street. I think if that would have been the ultimate thing, when that wasn't going to happen for many reasons, political and otherwise, they said, okay, this is the only real open land in Nassau County, and we want to be in Nassau County. We don't want to be in Brooklyn. It's one of the things I mentioned, the guy I'm talking to on the train, and we're talking about the game and stuff, and he goes, this is much better than going to Brooklyn. He goes, anything's better than going to Brooklyn for the Islander
there
games.
You go.
So
because it's that much further.
Yep.
But also, it's Brooklyn is, I mean, geographically, maybe it's part of Long Island technically.
Well,
but Brooklyn's not Long Island.
Well, yeah, that's what people from Brooklyn
Brooklyn's
say.
5 boroughs.
Yeah,
Brooklyn is New York City.
I know that.
No matter what piece of land it's on.
Right.
No matter if it's connected to Long Island or not. Brooklyn is New York City.
The problem I had with the Barclays Center, and even if I went to a Brooklyn Nets game or a concert there, is that if you don't get to the train right away, there's like one train, and that's it, because it's
that's
the
an
end.
issue, and that's going to be an issue with the Islanders now going forward, because I'm hoping, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm hoping the Long Island Railroad will run a couple of bang trains coming out of there.
It's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week station, so it'll be every hour.
Right, but that's my point. Is that if you could, if there's a way, and I have to assume there's a way, but if there's a way to run an unscheduled train after games.
They probably will have, if they're smart, there'll probably be a train waiting.
Yeah, there
somewhere.
should be.
There, that's a very good point.
And then another one 20 minutes later or something.
Yeah, that would be part of the regular schedule, but there should be something.
It doesn't have to be on a schedule. Just run it.
Right,
run the damn train.
No, but I mean, keep the schedule going also. So when they come in, to drop off regular people coming to Elmont because they worked in the city that day or something, then you say okay, then you just turn it around. But also have that train waiting just to get going, which I hope they do. Anyways, a great night, even though the Islanders lost both games this weekend, 5-2 against the Calgary Flames.
Tough opening.
And then the Maple Leafs beat up on them 3-0 last night. There was some problems with the Islanders besides bad play. Some players have COVID.
Yeah, there's right now there's 6 players on the COVID list, and 2 others got hurt. And Brock Nelson got hurt last night, lower body injury, whatever that means. But he got hurt in the first period and didn't come back. So right now, Brock Nelson is the only Islander to score at the UBS Arena because he had both goals Saturday night against Calgary, and obviously the Islanders did score last night. So way to go, Brock Nelson.
Yeah. So,
but this is one thing I want to say, because I've been saying since the start of the season, and regular listeners have heard me say this, not to get too worked up about the Islanders' record. In these first 13 games.
No.
Because 13 games on the road, you're not going to have a great record.
No.
So the point being that now we got two home games in the books, 0-2, but they're, like you said, 6 players on the COVID list, 2 pretty major injuries. it might be time to start getting a little nervous. Because the COVID guys will come back, and that's another week or whatever it is, and you know, guys just have to get tested, and they can kind of, you know, get back into it. But we're getting to a point now where it's 15 games into the season of you know, that's I'm trying to do quick math in my head. It's about 20% of the schedule.
Yeah,
The Islanders are in last place.
I don't worry about I've never worried about any team in either basketball or hockey until after New Year's Day. Usually January 6th is when I start to worry how good or bad they're playing, if that's going to continue.
Why January 6th?
Well, yeah, the whole holiday thing, and, you know, that's the way I look at it.
January 6th to me is Insurrection Day, but, you know.
Well, I'm not thinking of Insurrection Day, but
But
we
right
should say
now,
that we don't like Insurrection Day.
I know, but I get what you're saying, and I get. I'm not saying that all of a sudden I'm not turning around a week later and saying, yeah, it's time to start panicking. But the Islanders have lost 6 games in a row.
Yes,
and
good.
They're not playing well. In those 6 games, they have been outscored 27-6.
Yep.
So they're not scoring. They're not playing especially good defense. Neither goalie is playing very well right now. Sorokin started the season outstanding after the first 2 games, then had a stretch of about 7 games where he almost couldn't get beaten. But now nobody's playing well.
No.
And the fact that you have such a significant number of players and starters out with whatever, be it injuries or illness, there's 4 or 5 guys coming up from the AHL to play on the NHL roster. That's never a good thing.
No, and
so you know this is what I'm talking about. This is what needs. This is what the Islanders need to get through as quickly as possible, because yes, there's a lot of home games coming up, and that's always a good thing. But the fact that this team right now just isn't playing very well, and that goes back before the COVID stuff. It goes back before whatever injuries. The Islanders haven't been playing well for a couple weeks now.
This isn't. You know, last year was the Metropolitan Division wasn't as tight as it is this year right now. So the Metropolitan Division is maybe the best division in the NHL right now. So
well, and you know that's the big thing is when you're looking at first place and how far away the Islanders are, there's already a big gap in the Metropolitan Division.
Yes, there is,
and that is a big issue, and that's why I'm saying that, and that leads me to say maybe it is time to start kind of looking at things and getting a little worried and saying,
okay, this is what's going on here.
Yeah,
Carolina is leading the division.
Carolina's playing great,
14-2. The Islanders are bringing up the bottom at 5-8, and 2 overtime. The Carolina's 28 points. The Islanders are 12.
Right, but how many games have the Islanders played? How many games have Carolina played?
Only Carolina 16. Islanders are 15.
That's a problem. That's a big problem.
That is a big problem. And Pittsburgh is 6 points ahead of the Islanders. Now there are 2 games.
Where's Pittsburgh?
Number 7.
So they're one place ahead of the Islanders. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
And that's 6 points. That's an enormous gap.
That's a big gap.
When 2 points is a win, that's at least 3 games.
Yes.
So that's what I'm talking about, and that's why I'm saying that we're going to need to see, and I'm not saying it has to start with the next game, but it's got to start pretty soon, where the Islanders are going to have to string some wins together.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I mean that's mandatory at this point, because this is a team that is expected to contend for the Stanley Cup. Let's face facts.
Well, after last year, yeah. I mean, they were
the last 2 years.
Yeah, but they were 1 game away from going to the Stanley Cup last year, and they would have won last year if they had,
absolutely,
if they had made it to the Stanley Cup.
But my point is that the Islanders don't have to finish first. That's who cares? It's the NHL playoffs. Obviously, anything can happen because the Islanders showed that anything could happen last season.
Right.
Because they knocked off the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round, and they beat up on the Boston Bruins on the way to play in Tampa Bay. So you don't have to finish first. Sure, it helps to get home ice and to have that advantage, but and another point that I think it was Butch Goring made last night during the game is that right now, it's still not necessarily a home ice advantage for the Islanders because they're getting used to the new building.
Right.
So like Toronto came in last night, their first time. Well, it's only the Islanders' second time in the building. You know, and Calgary came in. Fine, they were both playing their first game in the UBS Arena. So the Islanders are going to need to get settled. They're going to need to learn the ice and learn the boards and kind of get a feel for how the place plays. And that's going to take a few games.
Yep.
So you can't just say, well, they're playing at home, so they should win. Well, no, not necessarily.
Not this year.
Well, I don't even want to wait that long. It shouldn't take that long. But it's going to take at least a few games before they'll learn all the little nuances of.
So
each rink
the Islanders have 4 games in a row at home.
Yeah.
Next game is the Rangers on Wednesday, and then Pittsburgh on Friday, and then Rangers on Sunday. So, let's hope no Ranger fans.
Rangers both at home?
No, Rangers on 28th is home.
So it's home and home.
Home and home.
All right.
But the Pittsburgh Penguins are in between. Let's hope no Ranger fans bought tickets for. Remember the old days when the Islanders
don't sully our new house, Ranger fans.
Yes,
stay away.
So anyway, a lot of great Islanders were there. Dennis Potvin, Ken Morrow, Clark Gillies, Nystrom, Pat Flatley, Tonelli, Butch Goring. Of course, he covers the game, so he's usually there.
Our pal Ed Westfall was there.
And our pal Ed Westfall was there, who he was there in 72 when the Islanders opened the Coliseum. Yes, yes, Sean.
Hi, long-time boss, first-time caller. How's everybody doing?
Good, feeling well.
I'm not a sports, or I shouldn't say that. I'm not a hockey fan, okay?
Why is that?
I went to one game, couldn't follow the puck, annoyed me.
It's very quick.
It's very quick and small when you're very high up.
It's a fast game.
But hockey, I have a question for the sports experts in the room. You're saying that the Islanders need to get adjusted to the new place,
yes.
Right? Aren't all hockey rinks standard size? Like everything is the same? It's not like baseball where every stadium has a different outfield dimension?
They are the same size, but I will say that different rinks will play differently. Because sometimes there are little nuances with the board. Sometimes the boards are a little looser, so if you hit somebody, the boards will be a little springier.
The wall, you mean?
Well, I call them boards. Yes.
Again, don't know hockey.
But some people call it the wall.
Did anybody hit a home run on Saturday?
It's a synonym.
We don't expect that from you, Sean. Come on.
But
you're a Mets fan. Come on.
In terms of and sometimes the boards or the wall, whatever you want to call it, they're not necessarily completely flat. So sometimes you'll send the puck around, and instead of going all the way around like it should,
it jets out.
It all of a sudden, boom! Here comes the bounce right in front of the net.
Shouldn't it be standardized though? This is the first time I ever heard of that.
But that's just construction. Yeah, it is standard. Every rink in the NHL is 200 by 85.
Right.
So that part of it, yes, that is standard. But construction being what it is, it's not going to be 100%.
And also the other thing is it's how long the ice is there, because sometimes there's no real basketball here, but like for the Knicks and the Rangers at the Garden, they put the hockey rink there, and then they put the basketball rink over it, and then they take the basketball floor off, and then
the rink.
Sounds like they're doing the hokey pokey.
Otherwise, Patrick Ewing's knees would be even worse if he played on basketball.
All right, so see, I just learned something, and hopefully everyone listening did too.
Yes. So, but that's the point, and that's why the Rangers, the Madison Square Garden ice for so long has been regarded as some of the worst in the league, is because
it's not.
There's so much action at the Garden, and it makes the ice. The ice is supposed to be perfectly flat.
Right.
It's not at the Garden.
Yeah.
I mean,
so there's you're skating and you're going like this because and I'm moving my hand up and down like a little bouncy. But it's not as flat as it could be, which means it's not going to be as fast as it could be.
And eventually UBS will be the same way because they plan on doing concerts and things there.
Right.
Well, I mean,
not as much.
It won't be as much because they won't have a basketball team there, so they should be able to manage that pretty well. But yeah, I mean, it certainly won't lend itself to the ice being better. The more events you have, the worse the ice is.
Now, well, Sean too. Let's ask him a question. He is a Mets fan. Noah Syndergaard, you going to miss him?
Very much so. I wrote a song parody about it. If you want to play it.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. If you go into the vault and search Thor.
We'll play that. We'll play that later when we get to the.
It was my singing debut on the sports talk show that airs at 4:00 every day.
Wow, is it under All Music?
Yeah, no, under All. Just search under All for Thor.
Wow,
it's there. But
we play
I'm not happy about how that went down.
When we play that, can we call you Weird Sean?
Weird Sean, yes. Not Weird Al, Weird Sean.
Well, you like Weird Al, so
I do like Weird Al, but no, I'm not happy about this in regard to. I don't think any Mets fan should be happy about this in the situation.
And not to get off topic, because I there is just a couple more things I want to talk about with the Islanders, but Met fans were pretty vicious in their reaction to Syndergaard.
Definitely,
we'll get to that later. But it was nasty.
Yeah, I understand why he left, but at the same time, don't guys say, "Oh, I want to stay in Met," and then all of a sudden you take the money and run.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a few minutes, bro. Later on in the show.
So,
but I did want to point out.
One more thing. We're doing an appearance today. Should we mention that?
Sure. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock today. R.C. Dugan's in East Meadow. Hempstead Turnpike in the Uncle Giuseppe's Shopping Center. WHPC Sports Talk will be live for 2 hours there in honor of the Giants playing Monday Night Football tonight.
There we go.
And we're showing up, but we're going to let the guys start the show at 4.
From the press box is making an appearance.
Good.
Yes.
Come on down. Eat, drink, be merry.
So just a little reminder.
We're going to be merry.
But
just to get back to the Islanders, like you said, our good pal Ed Westfall was there.
We have his email address, brother. Let's call him.
Well,
you have it.
I want to call him now.
Well, not now, but this would have been perfect.
But the funny thing was, apparently on the ice they couldn't hear what was going on, and they wanted this kind of corny thing where Tonelli was going to hand the puck to Bobby Nystrom, and Bobby Nystrom was going to drop it for the ceremonial face-off. They couldn't hear on the ice.
Wow.
And meanwhile, Ed Westfall was saying something to Cal Clutterbuck. I don't know what Ed Westfall was telling Cal. Maybe he's giving him some face-off advice, because Cal's not exactly, Cal's a right wing. He's not a center. But finally, Cal, from what Tonelli said between periods, Cal said to them, "Hey, guys, we're going to get this going or what?" Because they could not hear the PA guy. So it was like, finally here, Tonelli gives Nystrom the puck. Nystrom goes, boom, here drops. Clutterbuck, boom. All right, let's go. Let's get this thing. Let's get this game going. A
couple of last-minute things that didn't get properly finished. But anyway, the Islanders, right now they're in the middle of having to prove themselves.
It's a rough time, yeah. and this was not. I know that I don't think anybody expected the Islanders to get off to a hot start when you're playing 13 games in a row on the road. But at the same time, I think, especially after 2 games at home, I think most people expected the Islanders to be in a somewhat better position than where they are right now. And especially, like I said, the last 6 games, just terrible. I mean, I almost hate to say it, but Jets-like. That's how bad the Islanders have been in the last 6 games. 27-6, they've been outscored.
That's not good.
That's it needs to turn around, and it needs to turn around in a hurry, because that's another couple of weeks like this, and now all of a sudden you're talking about being in a hole that is going to take a couple of months to get out of.
Well, yeah, and like I said, the Metropolitan Division's a good division.
It's like you said, it's packed, and it's got a lot of good teams in it, a lot of teams that are over 500, and the longer this takes for the Islanders to come out of this, the like I said, the longer it's going to take for them to chase down teams, because you have good teams in front of you. Those teams aren't going to help you by losing games.
No.
And you look at Carolina. Carolina is one of the best teams in the league.
Yes, it is.
So that's that's the team. I'm not saying the Islanders need to catch them, like I said, but they need to get into a position where they're a playoff team, and that's not going to be an easy thing this year.
No, not at all.
So
we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm excited about the new arena. At the same time, I wish it was across the street. I think it was a better location. I think there's a lot of things to say still about the location of the Nassau Coliseum. But you know what? You can't wait forever for something, and that's one of the problems. You can't wait forever for a new arena, and that goes back to Charles Wang in 2002, where he said, let's build, well, maybe it wasn't 2002 exactly, but he wanted to do the lighthouse thing, which everyone got scared. Oh, we're going to turn into Queens. Well, yeah, we already are Queens, folks.
We should have
try making a right on red on Hempstead Turnpike.
Exactly. We should have listened to Charles Wang, just like we should have listened to Bernie Sanders, but that's another story.
That's a whole other story. Let's talk about the Jets, because the Jets are just really bad, brother. It's almost like, do we even care anymore? I mean, we should say tonight the Giants are playing the Buccaneers.
Yes. Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
we got a whole national audience to see how bad the Giants are.
But the Dolphins are not a good team, And the Jets literally lost the game yesterday.
Giants. Fischetti says the Giants are going to win.
That's right.
He's insane.
He is insane, but you know what? He doesn't like cannoli, so do we really care?
Well, we don't know. I still have to get him a good cannoli, so I'm still working on that.
Okay.
I was going to do it yesterday, but I got into the Jets game because I thought they might win. I didn't want to leave the Jets and miss a victory because they happen so rarely.
Right. The Jets are now 2-8,
and Saquon is going to play tonight. Saquon Barkley.
That's good.
So maybe the Giants will get something good.
Maybe. Anyway, the Jets are now 2-8. The season is just
they lost 24-17. Here's
it's just over.
Here's
beyond
positive.
over.
Here's positive. The Jets didn't allow 40-something points yesterday.
That's true.
That's a good thing. Elijah, what's his name? The wide receiver. I forget. I'm blanking on his last name. I wrote it down too, and I can't find it. Why am I thinking Woods? Call up the box.
I am.
Come on, brother. Get it done. But Flacco played quarterback, got the start. Zach Wilson's still injured. And the only reason that Flacco started is because the Jets are looking to limit mistakes. And that's what Flacco will give you. It's good in the sense that you're not going to have Mike. Oh my God, I'm blanking on names today. But you're not going to have a quarterback throwing 4 interceptions, Mike White. So we talked about this last week. Who is Mike White? Is Mike White the guy that threw for 400 yards in the win against the Bengals?
He gave us a week of happiness.
Or is he gave us a week of joy. Never mind happiness. It was way more than that. But is he the guy who threw 4 interceptions? And apparently the Jets didn't want to find out.
Elijah Moore, brother?
Elijah Moore, that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know why I was thinking about Woods. I don't even know who that is. But Elijah Moore had a great game yesterday. And he's had very good games. And we talked about him a couple weeks ago. This is a kid who is a future number 1 receiver for the Jets. They finally have a guy who has become a go-to receiver. And I was hoping that Mims kid, who they drafted in the second round a couple years ago, I was hoping he was going to be that guy. Because coming out of college, everybody said, this is a great kid, he's a great receiver, he's a hard worker, he's this and that. And for some reason, the Jets were trying to trade him earlier in the season. So I don't know what's going on there. It doesn't make any sense to me. But Elijah Moore, standout game yesterday, had, 100 and something yards. How many yards did he have, brother? Check the box.
Let's see. I'm looking at 141 yards.
141 yards.
Including a 62-yard catch and run.
Touchdown.
That the Jets began the fourth quarter with.
Yes, exactly. And then the Dolphins scored 10 points and went ahead, and the Jets. I mean, it was 24-14. The Jets kicked a field goal with, I don't even know, 18 seconds left, something like that, because they needed 2 scores. They tried for the onside kick, and then they didn't get it, so game over. But when you have a 2-score game, unless you can punch the touchdown in and get that, fine. You kick the field goal, and then you try for the onside kick, and then you got a Hail Mary. So I'm not going to question Robert Saleh on that, because that's the way you do it. But it didn't work out. The thing that I noticed during the game as I was watching is that the Dolphins are really a bad football team. And that being said, this was their 3rd win in a row. So the Dolphins are now 4-7. The Jets are, like you said before, 2-8. The only positive you can say about that is at least they're not the Detroit Lions. Tua.
That is true.
Tua Tagovailoa. Notice the expert pronunciation on that. 27-33 for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, that being said, I didn't think Tua played all that well.
Right.
But 27 for 33 is like 80-something%. So the guy actually had a really good game, but it looked like a mess. I mean, he didn't really, to me, didn't seem in command of the game, but he got the job done when he needed to. And that is part of the problem with the Jets offense, or the Jets defense, is they're not stopping anybody. And it's the Dolphins, and they're not going to light up any scoreboard, but 24 points was enough to win yesterday. And it wasn't like the Patriots scoring 54 points against them, or the Colts scoring 40 something, or they were allowing an average of 43 points a game in their last 4. So I guess some people will look at it and say, well, they only allowed 24 points, but it's the Dolphins. It's not a great team. This is a game they should have won. And I don't know what Jet fan can look at this game and take any kind of a moral victory from this. Even Salah said after the game that he said something, I don't remember the exact quote, but he said something of 90% of the games in this league are lost. It's not necessarily about winning.
Well, he mentioned that we lost this game.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said that was the next part of the quote is we lost this game, and they did.
This one was lost, is the one he used.
Yeah, and that's that was the issue, and I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm sure to Jet fans, because I'm sure Jet fans looked at this game as certainly a winnable game. And when they looked at the schedule, this was one of the few weeks on the schedule where Jet fans could say, "Hey, we could win this week."
I think we were one of the people who thought that at the beginning of the season.
I certainly did. I mean, I didn't. I mean, there's not a game on the Jets schedule that I'm saying, yeah, that's a definite win.
Well,
unless the Lions are on the schedule, and I don't know about it. But this game against the Dolphins was certainly one of the games where you could mark it down, or you don't mark it down as an automatic loss.
Right.
So, and it was a competitive game, yeah. Kind of, sort of. I mean, 24-14, then it's 24-17. Yeah, kind of competitive. It certainly wasn't a blowout, but it was also a sloppy game. It was an ugly game. It wasn't a good game to watch. So
no, but it was close. It wasn't as close as people thought, I guess. But at the same time, they could have maybe, if they didn't screw up a few times, they maybe could have won. But
that to me is on the offense. I mean,
yes,
the Dolphins, you got to score more than 14 or 17 points. 14 points until like I said, the field goal with 18 seconds left. That's a 14 points. It's not enough against the Dolphins.
No.
Come on.
I agree. I agree with that. So.
And then the other thing that happened during the week that I thought was just it was stupid was Rex Ryan creating controversy.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't. What did he say? He said, "Don't compare me to that. Don't compare that guy to me." You know what he's saying? He's trying to take the pressure away from Salah of being compared to Rex Ryan, because Rex Ryan, well, he went to the playoffs twice, but he's also an out there coach. We're going to beat the Patriots. No one says that anymore in the Jets locker room. Oh, well, we might win today. Rex Ryan would say, "Hey, we're going to win today," even though he didn't. Because
I wish we had the Facebook Live right now so that people could see the face that I'm making.
Your face looks very nice.
The remarkable.
It's the truth.
I can't even say what that is because the FCC would crush me.
I am right and you're wrong.
The first part of it is bull, though. I'll tell you that. No, completely wrong.
That's not true.
This was Rex Ryan being a jerk. And saying because people make the comparison because Rex was a defensive guy because he's obviously not a coach anymore, but was a defensive guy, and Salah is a defensive guy, and the Jets' defense right now is terrible. So that was why Rex said, "Don't compare that guy to me." Meanwhile, Rex won with somebody else's players for 2 years, and then the Jets went straight downhill. So for Rex to sit here and say, "I'm so much better than this guy." Rex, you haven't coached in the league in how many years?
That's true.
You're on television.
Yeah.
It's like Jeff Van Gundy saying he's better than half the coaches in the NBA. Maybe he is. He's actually shown that he is. Rex hasn't shown much as a coach.
That's true.
He's shown a lot as a mouth. I love Rex. Don't get me wrong. I love Rex. I thought Rex was a great coach for New York because of all the stuff you just said, all the bluster and the.
It was nice to see for the Jets.
It was great to have that kind of personality and that kind of confidence and that whole I don't give a damn what anybody thinks sort of attitude and that was great for the Jets.
Yeah,
but for him to come out and trash Robert Saleh,
I don't think
in his first, he did trash him. He absolutely trashed him. Okay. And Saleh, and I was more disappointed with Saleh Because his reaction was, hey, if Rex wants to have that conversation, he knows where to find me. Like he wanted to fight the guy. That's what you say when you want to fight somebody. He knows where to find me. Which was stupid. And then Rob Ryan, Rex's brother, the one that you look like.
I don't look anything like him.
He weighs in and starts yapping. And it's like, what's going on? You know what that's
like, brother? That's like if someone made fun of me. And then, you would stand up and say, you leave my brother alone or I'm going to come and kick your butt, too.
Exactly.
So?
But we're not in the public spotlight in terms of being NFL head coaches or on ESPN.
What's Rob Ryan up to? Who's he?
He's coaching somewhere. I don't know. That's what Google's for, brother. So, but you're a rookie coach. Don't bother with that nonsense. Don't get involved with that. The only positive that came out of that is that Rex Ryan and Saleh actually had a conversation. They got on the phone together, and Rex, all he did yesterday was sing the praises of Robert Saleh on ESPN.
What else is he going to say?
And said that that they had a conversation. He basically said, look, I didn't really know too much about the guy. Well, then why are you ripping him? First of all,
because that's his job.
But then he starts going on about how every few minutes that the phone call kept going on longer and longer, he just became more and more impressed with him. And he's like, he says, now I'm a fan. That's what he said. He's a fan of Saleh, and he says the Jets got the head coach thing right, and he says and I think they have the GM thing right. Well, you know what? It still takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
And when your first round pick is a quarterback, you're not necessarily going to win a lot of games that first year.
No.
So it's a work in progress. I think they have the right guy too. I like Saleh. I like the hire when they made it. I still like it, even though it's quite obvious the Jets roster needs a major overhaul still. But they got some pieces. Elijah Moore, nice receiver.
By the way, Rob Ryan is the inside linebacker coach for the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow, that's a step down. He used to be a DC, a defensive coordinator, not working for the Washington football team. But
you know what? This allows Rex Ryan to be heard in the news a little bit. Maybe his contract's coming up for renewal. This is how you do it.
I was disappointed in both of them.
Yeah, well, anyway, so the Jets are a mess. The Giants are playing tonight. I expect the Buccaneers, I don't care what Fischetti said, I expect the Buccaneers to destroy the Giants.
I'm pretty sure the Bucs have lost their last two, so I can't imagine the Giants are going to add to that. I think Brady is going to come out angry.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Angry Brady is not a fun thing to deal with.
Okay, the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, are 12-5.
Pulling away.
One of the best teams in the NBA, even without Mr. Non-Vax or No-Vax.
Kyrie.
No,
By the way, I don't want to get big into this, brother, but did you see last night LeBron James threw an elbow?
Oh God, yeah.
And opened up a gash.
Oh my God, yeah.
On a guy named Isaiah Stewart for the Detroit Pistons. I have never seen anybody want to fight as much as Isaiah Stewart wanted to fight. Like literally did the thing where like they were pushing him away, and he's like, Isaiah Stewart literally wanted to kill LeBron last night.
Oh, well,
he wanted to kill him because he's got blood streaming down his face, looking like a wrestler, looking like a WWE wrestler from back in the old days.
No, WWF was when they used to slice their heads.
Yeah. But blood, like real blood, coming down his face, and he did one of those little like fake things, like a little almost like a rope-a-dope, where he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm cool now. Now I'm cool. All right, yeah, I'm going to go to the locker room. And then he just like spins away from the guy and goes charging towards LeBron.
Right. 8
people had to hold this guy back. And they're all like trying to get in his way and block or wrap him up or something. And LeBron's just sitting there. And I mean, LeBron's not a dirty player, but I saw the replay of what he did. It was a cheap shot. It was a cheap shot. There's no two ways about it. LeBron can say all he wants about, like Anthony Davis said after the game. LeBron said, "Oh, my bad." He acknowledged it. Well, it was a cheap shot.
It was.
And he can say my bad all he wants, but he threw an elbow.
He did.
It wasn't like an accidental thing. It was LeBron boom, with the elbow, hitting him like like a Joe Louis 1-inch punch kind of thing.
All the blood, it was,
a lot of blood.
But
then Isaiah Stewart actually he figured it out that they wanted to get him into the hallway and back into the Pistons locker room, dressing room. He figured out that if he goes back into the hallway, he can come back around the other side. So all of a sudden, he goes sprinting for the hallway. And as soon as he did that, I'm like, oh, wait, I know what he's doing. And it's like, boom, boom. It's like he's going out the other side. The refs told the Lakers, hey, he's coming out the other way. You guys better watch out. What a mess.
I want to know what type of fine and
there's going to be massive. It's going to be massive.
It's suspension.
And the funniest part was after the game, Russell Westbrook was doing a press conference, and somebody asked him if the refs told him why he got a technical. And he's looking at the sheet, and he says to the guy, he goes, I got a tech? He didn't know. He had no idea. And he looked at the sheet, and he goes, damn, I got a tech. And he's like, I don't know why. I have no idea. He goes, maybe they just figured, all right, hey, Russ is here. We'll give him a tech.
Yeah, well, no one's going to remember that technical. They're going to remember the fight. We should say the Nets and the Bulls are tied 12-5 in the top of the Eastern Conference.
Bulls are good.
The Knicks are at 7, 9, and 8. I mean, 7 in the conference. They're 9 and 8. After starting out very well, unfortunately, they've been a little bit.
The defense isn't there.
Of sloppiness.
The shooting hasn't been there. R.J. Barrett, who played very well in the early games, had a couple of really bad games in a row. Julius Randle's points totals have dipped. The Knicks just aren't playing well right now, and with the Knicks and Thibodeau. Coach Thibodeau, everything is going to come back to defense. So if they're losing games, it means they're not working hard on defense. And they need to figure it out because for the last bunch of games, the second unit's playing better than the first unit. And you can't have that. And the Knicks won the other night only because Alec Burks scored 26 points. Alec Burks is the guy that comes off the bench for you.
What was the game I saw a couple of nights ago where they lost at the end? Oh, was it Wednesday? Was I watching? All I know is that the Knicks should have won the game. They were in 3-point mode. They had 2 minutes left. Okay, we got to get the
3-point mode.
I hate 3-point mode because I'd rather see a pass underneath and a quick layup because there's too much time wasting just for the ball to come down and then get the rebound. Where if you can just get a pass underneath, it would probably work better. And even maybe if you're going to get a 3-point play, there might be a foul that happens, and,
right?
And it goes in, and then you get the extra point. So I don't know. It was a bad end of the game. That's all I can say.
Yeah, but there's been a few of those lately, and that's the Knicks almost kind of mirror the Islanders in that way, and that the last few weeks have been not good. There's been nothing good about it.
Right.
The Knicks are they need to figure it out, and much like the Islanders, they need to figure out their defense and get back to playing better defense because that's what's going to win games for them. We'll see. I mean, it's what's happening in the NBA. It's a couple of things. First of all, nobody expected the Golden State Warriors to be as good as they are. They're back to being phenomenal.
15-2.
They are scary good.
Yep.
And for me, right now, I've seen them play a couple times already this year because I'm a late night person. They might be the team to beat. I know everybody's going crazy about the Nets and the Bucks are the reigning champions and the Sixers are out of the mix completely as far as I'm concerned. But the Warriors, they're loaded. Unbelievably loaded. And Klay Thompson hasn't even played yet.
Right.
So once he comes back and assuming that he can be Klay Thompson, who thinks he's one of the 75 best players ever in NBA history, they announced that team a few weeks ago. And the Warriors, Klay was a little hurt and a little surprised that he wasn't one of the top 75 players. So his teammates bought him a shirt that had a number 77 on it, which was pretty funny. But if Klay Thompson comes back and can be Klay Thompson again after missing 2 seasons, then nobody's beating the Warriors. Plain and simple. They're already really good. If they add another player of that caliber, nobody's beating. Nobody.
Well, the good part for the Knicks is that the Warriors are in the Western Conference.
Right.
So they barely play them.
That's helpful.
And the same with the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are 13-3. So
Suns are also very good.
That's 2 of the top teams. Actually, those are the 2 top teams in the league.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad thing. So the NBA is starting to look good. Of course, Christmas Day there'll be a lot of games, which is always fun to watch. And even though it's a month away, Thanksgiving's this Thursday. We look forward to seeing more games than maybe you should on Thanksgiving.
Oh, I want to make a plea to the listening audience.
What's that, brother?
There is a game on Thanksgiving that I am not giving thanks for, and I am demanding that nobody watch it.
What game is that?
The Bears against the Lions.
Okay.
It's one of the worst matchups of the season. That's how bad it is. It's even.
But the Lions always have to be a Thanksgiving game.
It's even worse than Jacksonville versus Miami in London. Like what genius came up with that terrible matchup? But horrible game. Do not waste a minute of your time watching that game. Go help your mom, help your wife, help whoever is preparing the meal. Don't waste that time watching what's going to be one of the worst football games of the entire season.
Right.
Do something productive with those 3 hours. Don't waste them watching a game that you're gonna want. You're just gonna regret the 3 hours that you wasted.
Yeah,
and it probably will do something to inhibit your digestion as well, because it's going to be that disgusting.
See, this is where you eat all the turkey, you fall asleep during this game. Anyway, brother.
Now the Mets, brother.
Mets, very
Let's get to
quickly.
the Mets.
Noah Syndergaard has left the Mets to sign with the Angels for 1 year and $21 million. Met fans are a little angry.
Yeah, a little. It's an understatement, brother.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised though. I mean, he didn't play. Maybe he feels that if he can't pitch anymore, it's better to be in another town where much as expected from won't happen.
No.
So
here's what happened, brother. Noah Syndergaard. First of all, he said he wanted to be with the Mets. He said that if the Mets gave him the qualifying offer, that he would take it. He basically told a lot of lies. And part of the reason for that was because I'm sure that Noah Syndergaard never in his life expected that a team would be dumb enough to offer $21 million to a pitcher who hasn't pitched in 2 years.
I wouldn't.
Noah Syndergaard pitched a couple of innings in September. So when I say he hasn't pitched, I'm saying he basically has not pitched. A couple of innings doesn't matter. $21 million for a guy who has not pitched since 2019.
I mean, unless he has some special powers that he's been given. So the Angels should not have signed him, but it's only for a year.
It's a 1 year. Let's catch lightning in a bottle. But that is what the Angels have been doing for a decade, and it's never happened once.
Right.
So, and remember, 3 years ago, they tried it with Matt Harvey. They gave Matt Harvey $11 million. And remember, I crushed that deal on this show. I thought it was one of the worst free agents. In fact, I said it was going to be the worst free agent contract of that season. The Angels wound up releasing Harvey, I think it was in July. Yeah. $11 million flushed down the drain it was like a 6.5 or 7 ERA. Terrible deal. Now, I think Syndergaard's got something left, because Tommy John surgery is obviously you're able to come back from it. He pitched those couple of innings. The fastball was up at like 95 or whatever, so he's still got velocity, and that he'll be able to build up. But I don't know how you offer a guy $21 million who hasn't pitched in 2 years. He's coming off a major surgery, who's coming off injuries, and has a pretty checkered injury history. It really is just throwing money against the wall and hoping that it sticks, because the Angels still need at least one more pitcher, if not two more.
Right.
Because they have Ohtani, and he's obviously their ace, but they need another reliable pitcher. They have a couple of kids from last season who kind of pitched their way into the rotation, but that's it. They're not a contending team
if I was the Angels, I would have done a thing that said, okay, we'll give you a total of $21 million, but you have to hit certain plateaus or certain peaks or whatever.
Yeah, it should have been an incentive-laden contract. But the thing that the Met fans are really upset about is the whole thing about Syndergaard saying that he would take the qualifying offer if the Mets gave it to him. Well, the Mets gave it to him, and then before he even says yes, the Angels come in and they give him $2.6 million more, which is what, like 15% more.
Yeah.
And he takes that. And then he says that part of the reason why he decided to sign with the Angels was because the Mets were still looking for a GM at that point, and they seemed unsettled. Well, dude, you've been around here for how many years?
Right, you know the situation.
Seriously, that was your reason? And the Angels, to their credit, their GM took Syndergaard out to dinner, made a big play for him, made him feel like he was important and he was wanted, and put that I don't want to say pressure, but gave him a little bit of love, and showed him that they wanted him there. So he made the decision. But yeah, Met fans are mad.
The next person with this type of contract is Conforto, and we'll see what happens with what he signs.
Well,
who's going to give him
Conforto's not coming off injuries. Conforto's just coming off a bad season.
Yeah. So. Anyway, brother, I don't know if you know about this, but Tower Talk Business Radio is on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Tower Talk highlights the best of Long Island by providing all-access interviews with the NCC Foundation, Business Leaders Council, top entrepreneurs, and local business owners who will discuss a range of topics that impact both owners and executives alike. That is Tower Talk Radio, Tower Talk Business Radio, I should say, Thursdays at 3 p.m. right here on 90.3 WHPC. Quickly, soccer.
Lots of stuff going on.
NYCFC defeated the Atlanta United 2-0. They now go on to play the Revolution on November 30th, which is...
next Tuesday.
Why do they have to wait that long, man?
Because they do.
That's so stupid.
Don't worry about it.
What was it the Mexican game I saw? It was snow on the ground?
I don't know.
There was a game I saw.
They played in Canada.
Yeah, but still, you should be playing soccer in shorts.
It's Canada.
I don't care. Get an indoor stadium or something.
Anyway, brother, the New England Revolution, they're coached by National Community College alum Bruce Arena.
Yeah.
Our guy.
Yeah.
Also, Manchester United has let go or fired, let's just say fired, manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after an embarrassing 4-1 loss to Watford. Manchester United 1-5-1 in their last 7 Premier League matches. We don't know who the next manager at Manchester United is. Rumor has it that they're looking at Zinedine Zidane, the current Real Madrid manager, or Paris Saint-Germain manager and former Tottenham man Mauricio Pochettino. I'm saying right now, Pochettino will not coach at Manchester United. It will not happen. The other thing I want to point out, brother,
very quickly,
Tottenham in the second half, 2 goals to beat Leeds United in Antonio Conte's first Premier League game at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Brilliant match.
Okay, well, we got to get going, brother. Another great show. Coming up next at 10 o'clock, his name is Big Ed, and that means a lot to a lot of people. His name is Big Ed, not Little Ed, not Small Ed, Big Ed. It's not trademarked, but if he could, he would do it. So anyway, we got to play this, brother. Shawn Novatt, our director, was in here before, and he claims that he is singing on this track about Noah Syndergaard.
There you go.
It's sort of like a Weird Al track.
Weird Shawn.
But he's not weird. We'll call him.
He gave me permission to call him.
Okay, I guess so. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to play this song to end the show, and thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time. The song is called "The Syndergaard Song" by Shawn Novatt, our director. Here it is. He gave us permission, so he can't say anything. Take care. Bye bye.
Another online post, a knife stuck in our back. Thor decided to go to the West, gave fans a heart attack. He said he wanted to play with the Mets, he lied. He took the cash and ran, we're screwed, our hands were tied. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's wrong. We hope you suck playing over there so long.